Amy Cotta, and I am the founder and executive director of Memories of Honor.
What inspired you to create Memories of Honor?
Um, it's I'm from a military family, and I sent my son off to the Marine Corps when he was 17 during wartime, and I knew way too many people that had lost their loved ones either in battle or to the wounds and battles fought here on American soil. So I wanted to do whatever I could to make sure that those families knew that somebody loved them, cared about them, and made sure that their sacrifice of their loved ones not forgotten.
Can you tell me a little bit about Memories of Honor?
Yeah, so we're a national 501c3 nonprofit. We're home base is Nashville, Tennessee, and we travel across the country and uh, use athletics, entertainment, special events as a way to honor our fallen service members, not just on Memorial Day, but 365 days a year.
And you do a lot of races, I saw as
Yeah.
well. What is it about uh, running and giving back?
Well, like walks and runs is an easy way for most people to get involved, and to have something, a tangible way of honoring fallen service members, because all of the events that we do, individuals carry the names of a fallen service member on their uh on their bib. We have these special memorial bibs made. So not only are they carrying that fallen service member's name and their memory, they literally become a walking, living memorial for that service member. And it also builds a connective bridge between those individuals, as well as the Gold Star families that they're representing, even though they may never meet them. Um, it's a way for the families to know that somebody physically went out and put some miles in honor of their loved one. Um, our whole thing is honor, heal, connect. So uh, our events have a lot of family members of fallen service members that are in attendance, as well as the courses are always lined with signs that have the names and faces of the fallen.
When you're running, how does that help your mental health?
Oh, I mean, so Memories of Honor was actually born on an Ironman course, and the inaugural Chattanooga Ironman. So it all started with me needing a way to deal with the different stresses in my life, as well as dealing with the unknowns. And so I found being physically active was a great way um, to deal with mental health issues. And it's the same way with most people. It's a healthy outlet to literally burn off whatever is weighing you down.
Yeah, and I saw that you do a lot of things for PTSD awareness. How
Yes.
important is it to amplify, military and mental health?
you know I've never been to war, so I can only speak to what has been told to me. um but our men and women that have been deployed, especially during uh, Iraq and early days in Afghanistan, they did multiple tours, spending months to years at a time away from their families. A dear friend of mine who's no longer with us, did three back-to-back year-long tours, and that weighs on you. They've seen things and have done things that most of us could not even possibly comprehend or wrap our brains around. And then they come back to civilian life, and they're expected to act a certain way, talk a certain way, start dealing with all the stresses of daily life. And, it's, you can't always turn off um, trauma.
Right.
And, and we expect them just to snap out of it. But the cool thing is that there are ways and organizations that have outlets for them. For us in particular, we don't necessarily deal directly with PTSD as far as any type of counseling or anything like that. But within our umbrella, we have a program called Enduring Heroes, which is for veterans and Gold Star families. I mentioned earlier, Honor, Heal, Connect. Those are our three pillars. So through that, we sponsor Gold Star family members as well as veterans to endurance sporting events so that they can use that as a means of healing, honoring a loved one, a fallen teammates that they may have never met because they become family once they join the service, and to put some purpose to the pain. And, as I mentioned earlier, like when you're out doing something for somebody or something that's bigger than yourself, the armor starts falling off. So I think it's really important for our veteran community, especially those that have seen combat, to have uh, outlets that are physical in nature that also is a way of honoring their military family and teammates.
What are some of the things you've learned from your son?
Once a Marine, always a Marine. Never call a Marine a soldier. uh, it's again honor. Giving everything your best. He's definitely a Marine from the moment of go. And the sense of community. It's really cool to be part of the military community and the military families, even though I personally did not serve. But his service has given my life purpose, and that's something that I will forever be grateful for.
And with the sense of community, helping these families, heal and all that, how does that feel for you?
It's amazing to be able to spend my life and my time giving back to others. It's not always a picnic, but it's always more than worth it. When I say it's not always a picnic, I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like when you deal with loss all day, every day, and being an empath, I have a tendency to take on other people's pain and worry, and I tend to take on their armor and make it my own. So it definitely becomes a roller coaster ride of being able to separate myself mentally sometimes to be able to recharge. I have a tendency to over pour from my pitcher before it gets refilled with water. And if you constantly are pouring out of the pitcher and not refilling it, eventually it becomes empty. But I think a lot of people that are in the nonprofit sector, or where you're giving, it fills you, but it also drains you. But I couldn't imagine living my life doing anything else.
What do you do to help your mental health?
I work out when I can. I know you're like, oh, why can't you work out? Because I work all the time.
Right.
I still do events myself, not like I used to. but I love rucking, doing ruck marches. Um, I haven't gotten back on my bike since my last Ironman, which has been many years now. Um, but I definitely am looking at doing another 50K at some point. Um, sometimes it's just a walk around the neighborhood for 20 minutes just to decompress and get some vitamin D.
So where do you want to see the nonprofit in the next 3 to 5 years?
I would like us to be thought as an in the same realm of, top of mind when you're talking about organizations that honor fallen service members and their families, um, which we've done a really great job of so far with our national footprint. But at this point, we're still an all volunteer organization. And for us to keep growing and to be able to keep capacity building, that has to change. So I definitely want to see us with some funding for paid employees in the next, hopefully next 2 years. And, you know, have other our events in other cities, more cities than there are now, and to keep uh, building our partnerships. We've been very lucky and very grateful to build some great partnerships throughout the years with brands, corporations, college sports teams. So I would love to see us get more uh, SEC schools involved, as well as professional sports. And again, we're doing a great job of it, but I'd like to see that double or triple in the next few years.
What would you say to veterans or active duty going through a tough time?
Oh my goodness. That's a hard one again because I did not serve. I haven't been through war. I haven't been through boot camp. Um, I can tell them that, sometimes it seems like the nation's not grateful. We are. And for those that said or that say, I was just doing my job, well, thank you for choosing that job. Um, it's a job that a lot of people don't choose. Recruiting right now is way down for all branches. Um, it's an honorable job, even, no matter what you do within within your branch. Every wheel makes the cog turn. So whether you're pushing paper or pushing dirt, we thank you. We need you. And for those that are struggling, we need you around. Uh, I know a lot of veterans personally that feel like the civilian community just doesn't understand. And you know what? We don't. We haven't been there. But we do understand that you may be struggling. And we may not know the depths of your pain or what you're going through, but we care. Um, and there's many resources out there for you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I have friends that I've lost that didn't feel like asking for help was the manly thing to do, and that it was a weak thing to ask for help. And it takes a lot of strength to ask for help. So, God forbid if you find yourself struggling, somebody loves you, somebody cares about you, the world needs you. Please get help.